in my car again, and let me turn my radio down. Sorry about that. And I am on my way to guess where? Hobby Lobby. I can't help it, you guys. I just can't. I have decided to buy one more of those egg garlands with the gold on it, and one more set of lights, of the little pastel lights, and I'm going to try, we'll see if this is going to work, I'm going to try to wrap the lights around the egg garland and then just add the egg garland kind of on top and in with my existing pip berries that are lit with white lights. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm not sure. I've kind of a thought right now, so we'll see. But it is a beautiful day here in Virginia, and it is 49 degrees right now. Very chilly. I am just going to go to Hobby Lobby just for these couple of things. Only trouble is it takes me like a half an hour to get there and a half an hour to get back home. So that's like time that I don't need to be spending away from my house. I'd much rather be decorating than I would be shopping, because that's what I love to do. I do have a passion for decorating. And you know, I guess I'll tell you a little story here while we're heading into town. I went to college for a couple of years, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Both my parents were educators, which I thought, you know, was an awesome job for them, but I didn't think I would be a great teacher in a classroom. Although now I think I would have been a good teacher, but then I didn't have enough confidence. I had a little problem with self-esteem and self-confidence back then. I was very shy as a child, believe that or not. I was very shy, painfully shy as a child. And I could sing. I was in the chorus and I could sing, and that was about my only talent back then. But anyway, when I graduated, I really didn't have a purpose. I didn't know what in the world I wanted to do. So when I went down the road and worked for a while close to Washington, D.C., and that didn't work out well because the traffic, no thank you very much. So I ended up, that was enough to push me into college. So I went to college, and I was in college, and then I met Chris through his cousin, and I was friends with her and worked with her at a steakhouse. And so I had met Chris's whole family before I ever met him. So, but anyway, long story short, we met in August and were married then very next May, and it's been 30 plus years, and we're still going strong. So I did not finish my 2 years of college. I mean, I was like 6 credits short of, you know, getting my AA, and I didn't finish. Instead, I had to move away out of my town because I had to come here to this town where Chris worked, and started having kids pretty quick. And then, of course, as your kids are growing, you know, I always decorated our house, and I did crafts through the years with them, and I made a wreath here or there. I always did crafts. I never have taken a class of any sort. I've never been educated in decorating or crafting of any kind. I have no education. It's just, I guess somewhere inside of me, there's whatever talent there is, you know. And my mom always told me, when you find your niche, you'll love it, and then you'll go for it. And, you know, but it only took me till I was 50 some years old to really find my niche. I always decorated our other house, but I decorated it to ridiculous amounts. I mean, every wall was covered, every tabletop was covered, every shelf was covered. It was ridiculous. It was bordering on the ridiculous, really and truly. So when we moved into this house several years ago, I really had to wrap my brain around how I wanted to decorate and how I wanted to bring the country in to our home, because I really like country decor, but I don't like the look really old. And this is just me. I don't mean any offense by saying this to anybody, because I do like it for other folks, but for our home and how I, you know, my idea of how I wanted to decorate was not like the primitive, everything looks aged, everything looks old country. You know, I wanted more of a, not even a shabby chic, kind of, you could say that in my living room and dining room, but more of a classic country, maybe. I don't know even know how to say it. And if you go to my blog, I have a blog written, maybe I'll link it in the description of this video, of how I came about figuring out how I wanted to decorate. And I ended up making a list of my favorite things, which were lanterns and mini lights, and traffic is terrible out here today, Dickens houses, and you know, I made a whole list, and I'll link that blog. And that's how I started to do it. And I really started with a blank palette. I collected things while the house was being built, and it was quite the production trying to get this house decorated for the first time. And I keep adding to it and, you know, tweaking it, and as the seasons go by and as the years passed, and it's getting there. It's getting to where I'm really enjoying doing it, and I have completely fallen in love with the process of decorating and creating the wreaths and the centerpieces and the cozy corners and all of that stuff. I just love it. I love that. And as I was saying yesterday, or the other day in my car chat, I don't like, you know, having to pull out all the bins and take everything out and take everything down and whatnot. But I love the process, the decorating process. And I always say to you guys, I'm getting quiet again. I'm sorry about that. But I tend to do that when I'm really thinking and concentrating, because it does take some brain power to do this stuff. But anyway, there's a little backstory for you of my life and growing up. I love my family. My family is the most important thing. Not only my Chris and my girls, our girls, but my extended family too. I'm going to cry again. Sorry. But they really mean a lot. My family means a lot. And I don't know what I'd do without them. We're spread all over the place. But my gracious, I do love them so. Anyway, I'm almost there. So I'm going to run in and get my stuff and then run back home real quick. And I will catch y'all in a little bit. Okay, bye-bye. I'm back home from Hobby Lobby. And I have taken a few minutes to clear off my palette, meaning I took candles off of the candle holders and removed my boxes and undid my cozy corners and undid this basket. So now I'm going to start putting everything back together, and I'm going to start with my egg garland that I've already measured, and I have sitting here on my island. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and wrap these lights. You guys saw me do this yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap these lights, and I'm going to go ahead and put them up. Let me walk over here again real quick and show you. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. I have, you can see we have hangers here and here, whoops, here. So I'm just going to drape it and put it right in these little hangers, and that's how it will be held up there. Nothing real difficult about that. But we've got command strips back there holding, ooh, a little dusty up there, sorry. Little command strips holding on the hangers that we made up. Okie dokie, I'm back, and I have the egg garland with the pastel lights hung up on the mantle. I'm going to make a couple of bows. I know I told you that I would show you how to make one of those big fat bows in this video, but we're going to have to wait till another time to make those, because I decided big bows like that would be a little overwhelming on the mantle. So I'm going to make just a 2-loop with 2-tail bow. And that gives me a 2-loop bow with 2 tails. One's going to go on one side and the other's going to go on the other. So I'm going to make another one. Y'all don't need to watch me do that. And then I'm going to go hang them up on the mantle. All right, here I am at the mantle. And as you can see, here's the egg garland with the pastel lights on it. And it's hard to tell during the day. So we'll see how it looks tonight, but so far so good. I'm very happy with it. So, and here are my big bows. So they are going to go kind of tilted this way right here. So let me go ahead and hook this on. And I'm using the pipe cleaner that I close the bow with just to tie it onto one of the, see what I mean? If I had a big fat bow there, that would be just way too much. Way, way, way too much. So I'm gonna have to stand back from it and take a peek at it, but there's one. Let me go do the other side. Alrighty, there we go. Let's see if they look even. Pretty good. Needs to go up just a smidge. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Now, I have some cream colored candles, and they're gonna go up on the candle holders just to lighten it up a little bit. As you can see, you've noticed right there, I found those, it's almost a corally pink color candle that I had used for something else decades ago, you guys. And they pair pretty nicely with the pink. So I put those up. I could not find, I looked, trust me, I could not find candles like this in that color. So I decided to go with cream, which is probably better anyway. Because I like the cream. I'm trying to lighten everything up for spring and for Easter. I'm going to move these little girls. I'm not going to put them away. I think I'm just going to move them over to the corners here. And then I have these two little bunnies. We'll sit them up. Right there. I need to move this hanger. There we go. Right on either side of the clock. And I think that's going to do it for the mantle. So there we go. Stop touching it. Sometimes I have to just stop touching things. Okay, I'm back, and my handy dandy cameraman is behind the camera there to help me out just a little bit while I quickly decorate this hearth and this cozy corner. As you can see, this is another one of those staple pieces that I'm always telling you about. This basket, it stays here all through the year. That is a subwoofer underneath of it. So, you know, I have to incorporate Chris's stuff into my decor too. So I've covered it a little bit with this runner, table runner. So I'm going to finish this up with just a couple more things, this little corner here. With just a couple more things. It just says Easter on it. And then I made a bow, just like I did those on the mantle. And this has a little metal hook on it. So I've just used the pipe cleaner that I closed the bow a little bit. Shut. There we go. And then I had a little bit of this egg garland left. So I'm going to stick that kind of in the top of this. As you can see, there are already white lights in there. I have this little Easter sign. So I'm just going to kind of stick that right in the front. There we go. And that's about all I'm going to do to that. I may add a few more eggs, but I kind of like it just like that. And this one is a slightly different color, but stick that right there. Again, if you've heard me explain my cozy corners, I always like to work from the ends and work toward the center. So as you can see, I started on the right and started moving in toward the center. And I see a big hole, so I think he'll look fine right there when I'm doing a corner like this. Just a little whimsy there. And that about finishes that cozy corner from like the middle of the fireplace over toward the right. Okie dokie, I'm back here and I'm ready to put together a couple of quick lantern centerpieces for you guys. This one that I'm fixing to do here will go on the hearth, and then I have another one I'm going to show you real quick that will go on the credenza, and I'll show you what I did with the credenza. Yesterday, as with the lantern centerpiece yesterday, I have a tray and a lantern. I do switch out the lantern, I will say, in this centerpiece though, to match more of the season in which I'm working. So, but this is a smaller tray, and this lantern isn't as red. It isn't as country red as it's more, I'm going to be pairing it with pink. So I wanted it to be a little lighter red. So, and as with the other lanterns, the first thing I do is put a candle inside. And I am not going to put anything inside of this one because, to be honest with you, I don't have anything that would match. So we're going to go without it right now. So that's all we do with the gold and the pink, and that's kind of my theme, became my theme up there. I didn't even realize it was going to be my theme, but it became my theme at that end of the family base. Now let's, the one thing about this arrangement too is that you are not going to be able to see this from the back. This is going to snug up against that basket where my little bunny is sitting, the Longaberger basket there. So we really don't have to concern ourselves too much with the back. Instead, I'm just going to anchor the front two corners. I'm going to use these two little bunnies. I did not purchase these this year. I had them last year. So they're going to go in the front corners, just like that. And then all I'm going to do is simply add a few pink flowers. Also, I'm going to set these in the back two corners because they're going to be facing out. I think there are 5 or 6 of them, and you'll see them spread across my hearth. I'm going to put one in each corner in the back facing out. And I think you'll see when I get this in place that that's pretty much all we need for that one back. So there's that one. I'm not going to switch out the tray. It's just kind of a light red tray, about the color of that lantern. And I just have some pip berries in the bottom, which I'm going to keep there because this is kind of a deep tray. So I'm just going to keep the pip berries in there. And here is another little bit of garland I had left. Remember, I had to cut it off of the fireplace. So I had some left. I bought one today. This is just a scrolly fleur-de-lis. If you look over there, I'll take a picture of it above the TV. This is what sits in front of the TV, and above the TV I have fleur-de-lis on the wall. So I bought this to pair with that. So this candle holder stays in this tray or in other trays throughout the year. And I want to kind of try to pull in some yellow because I used yellow over in the cozy corner. So I want to try to pull in a little bit of yellow. I have these two little wooden bunnies. I had these last year too. Have little pink bow ties on them. So I thought they might be cute kind of in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in place and then wait till it gets dark and then take some video after dark. Okie dokie, it is now pitch black outside. So I thought I would stand back and give you guys a look at this in the evening hours. I have to say that I'm loving it. I really, 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 really do like this. Just a touch of color. A touch of whimsy, if you will, again. There's that cozy corner. Moving across the hearth. Lantern decor. Looking good. And here is what I did. I don't think you can see this. Let me flip on the light real quick here so you can see what I did with the credenza. Here's that centerpiece. And I just put a Happy Easter sign in front of it. And then I changed the table runner and just added 2 bunnies. And that's it. I left all the other stuff as it was. So that's it. Let me see if I can back up and get a and there we go. I'm done at this end of the room. The only other thing I'm going to do in here is my little black table over there. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, not too much. And that's it for this side of the house. And then I'll move into the living room and dining room over there and just do dining room lantern decor and not much else. So I'm pretty much done, guys. So I'll close this video out and say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.